but I think here's what I'm going to say to Laura, because this was the main thing I was going to address anyway. There's no use. We don't need to like go on for an hour about it. I don't need to flog a dead horse. But Laura, here's the answer to your question. For all the people you say have done so much worse than you, I don't know. I don't know about that, but I do know this. And you want to know, you use Savage as an example. I'm not using that, but that was one of her examples as to, she's done this and she's done that. And she was a real lifer. I think Laura, in her very eloquent way of speaking, said she used to be a piece of shit or something like that. And so why don't people hold her accountable like they want to hold me accountable? Let it go. What did she like? I owned it. Call it whatever you want. I call it, you admitted it when you had no choice. The only way to not admit it at that point was to look as if you would have looked like you were seriously mentally unbalanced if you didn't fight. There comes a point when you must wave the red flag. There is no choice. To do anything less would indicate something that probably has a corresponding code contained in the DSM. Hey, Nash Native, how are you? But to boil it all down to brass tacks, I don't care what listen, you could take someone, and this applies to real life, not just YouTube. And you would be well suited to learn this. I'm surprised you haven't along the way. You, like all the rest of us, not just you, but all of us, but some of us actually do it, would benefit from, I don't know, every once in a while, just shutting the fuck up. I'm not even going to tell you to sit the fuck down, but just like shutting up and listening to someone who may possibly know more than you, whether that be experience, education, whatever the case may be. And I don't know, just maybe acknowledging the fact that you don't know everything. And it's not exactly rockets. This is why I call you PurPlexACuted. It's not exactly rocket science. There comes a point when you have fallen out with every person in your orbit at one time or another. Hey, Fit and Curvy, how are you? No matter how close you were or how long they were in your inner circle, there comes a point where most normal thinking people, this statement is predicated on normal, we'll say normal no, not even slash. We'll say normal and mature thinking people who have a little bit of self-awareness. You can sit back and you can say, you know what? Well, I might not admit this to that bitch. Maybe I'm part of the problem. Maybe I'm the whole problem. I don't know. But I do know this. There's nobody in the world who has a long-standing conflict with someone else who can say, I'm totally innocent. I haven't done anything. It's all them. So what the hell? Okay, I don't know what happened. I was like, damn, bitch, you work fast. Seriously, again? Anyway, there comes a point when a mature, even remotely normal thinking person sits back and says, maybe I'm doing something wrong. And just to go a little bit further with that, I can tell you this, whether it's here or real life. Of course. What the hell do you mean my PC needs to be? Do me a favor. Just put a 1 if you can hear me. I keep getting these pop-up messages. Your PC needs from like a driver telling me I need to restart. Just somebody put a 1. So I know that I'm not just sitting here talking to myself. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So whether it's YouTube you're talking about or your real life you're talking about, you can take two people who have each done the exact same deed, we'll just say. And one of them, let's just say it's a misdeed. Let's say it's something naughty. And you've got this one, and they're both going to own it. And we've got this one over here who's clearly they either actually do have some contrition or they're just a much better actor than this one. So you can have this one say, and all other things being equal, you know what? Yeah, I did something really shitty. I was in my feelings. I had a lot of other things going on in my life. Not that I'm using that as an excuse, but I did something very, very hurtful and very wrong to Joe Blow. And I just want to say that I'm deeply sorry. I will regret it for the rest of my days. I hope that one day you can find it, in your heart to forgive me. And if not, I understand. I probably don't deserve it. And then you got this one over here who says, well, you know what? Do you know what you've done to me for all these years, every fucking day? I wouldn't have done X if you hadn't done Y. I owned it. Do you know how many people have done the same thing and worse? And you don't hold them accountable. They don't take ownership of it. I'm the only one. Well, my gosh, I can't imagine why. My advice to you: either get thicker skin, and by the way, if you want someone to stop talking about what I'm sure you will say is the worst thing you've ever done on YouTube, girl, it's your story. You tell it. But you might want to quit talking about it yourself every day of your YouTube life. I don't know. That's just a suggestion. But yeah, can you see how one, even though it's the same deed, and she may be very true when she says, well, what about X, Y, and Z? They did the same, if not worse. Well, clearly you need to learn to be a better actress. Or if you don't care, like you say you don't care, then I don't know, maybe quit drawing attention to it and talking about it every day. But you see, if you ask me, you know what I would say? I would say, what do you have left at this point? I don't listen to you anymore. My understanding is you're deep in the Wade Wilson shit. You go, girl. But one thing that I have seen with my own eyes, and I tend to believe is very true, that I always heard about you. Oh, and I have my own personal experience too. I think that I don't think you really have one single fuck to give about anybody on this platform. I do. I think I would be better off if I didn't. Because trust me, I've been burned a couple times. I've had some real hurt feelings. I just because I don't take to YouTube and start naming names and reading fucking private messages, etc., that doesn't mean it hasn't happened to me. It most definitely has. But I think you just look at people as a means to an end. I think you would attach yourself to anybody who you thought could help you get ahead in some way. And when you figure out that isn't going to happen, I think I don't think there's anybody here who means anything to you. And she might have the better, she might be right. I'm sure I'm wrong. As far as that goes, but I can't help it. That's me. This is called social media for a reason. I'm not a fake bitch. In some ways, we all listen to one degree or another. We all show you what we want you to see. We don't show you what we don't want you to see. I admit it. But some people are like I believe Laura is, out for number one all the time. And, of course, in life, you have to worry about yourself first. But some people worry about themselves to the exclusion of everyone else. I don't do that. I have made some friends on here. I call them friends. If they end up disappointing me in the end, so be it. I'm not going to change the fact that people, if I think enough of you to communicate with you off of YouTube, that's because I genuinely like you. I call you a friend. And listen, I know everyone throws the word friend around really loosely. But you know what? I would rather be disappointed and and say to myself, oh my God, you dumbass. You let it happen again. You let somebody, you had some kind of loose friendship with someone and they really didn't give a shit about you. I don't care. I don't want that to happen, but I will take that chance. And trust me, please understand, I don't mean that I'm out there giving my phone number or my burner number to everybody that, has a kind word. Not at all. Not at all. But I'll continue trying. I try and choose people to communicate with on a more personal level. I try and choose wisely. Like I said, I've been disappointed in the past, but I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to become like what I think you are, which is just, what can you do for me? And I speak from my own personal experience with you. So, yeah, be a better actress, or, and here's another reason, and I'm going to echo something I heard Makeup Mobster say, and not because I need to reinforce it. And I knew it. I said this way back. But clearly I'm not the only one who recognizes this. You are very aggressive, and you are one of the most miserable people I have encountered on this app. I've never heard you laugh. Never. Listen, we all, to one degree or another, we all bitch about other people when we take to the airwaves. Well, I'm sorry, that's the neighborhood we're rolling around in. This is a petty place. I'm just not, looking people up outside of YouTube. I'm not calling CPS. I'm not calling anybody's parents, their husband, their boyfriend, their fucking kids. No, because I don't care enough to do that. It's crazy to me. So while I do understand that we all have petty grievances with other people, I can bitch about somebody and make you laugh while I'm doing it. You know what? Honest to God, I don't think I've ever even seen you smile. And honestly, it makes me feel sad for you, because I don't know, you just seem joyless. So maybe that's a real legitimate reason that people will not give you, if we go with what you say, all things being equal. Maybe the reason that people give other people who have committed transgressions like yours or worse than yours, maybe the reason that people will overlook that or forgive it, whatever you want to call it, well, maybe that's because they find something redeeming within them. You're just angry. You are angry and full of venom. You really are. And I feel sorry for you. It's no way to go through life. And you can say whatever you want to say. I've never seen you smile. I've never heard you laugh. And you just seem to be completely miserable all the time. But can't understand why people don't give you the benefit of the doubt that they might give someone else. Well, there you go. I hope I answered your question for you. And that's enough time spent on that. Lecture over, because I'm sure it will fall on deaf ears.